Thank you. My name is Sherry Bezanson, and I'm an innovator, creator, and entrepreneur. I have a master's in counseling psychology, and I'm a registered clinical counselor. I think a lot of us talk about power, but we seldom stop to define it, although there's been a lot of great definitions today, and great examples too. So in my work over the last 25 years, I have come up with two ways to describe power. And the first one is outside power, or outer power. So outer is what the media tells us we should wear, what we should drive, the house we should live in, the people we should marry. It's things that we can do from the outside, boob jobs, nose jobs, and lately I've even heard about labia cosmetic surgery. So there's many ways that we can fix ourselves from the outside in. But those don't really create the lasting fix. They're temporary. They give us a quick, immediate sense of feeling better about ourselves, and then that dissipates. The more lasting type of power is inner power. And that's real power. Real power comes from a genuine sense of feeling good about ourselves from the inside out. We can't fake real power, and we can't buy real power. We have to earn it. And we earn it by, oh, that way. No? There we go. We earn it by all of those things we've all done. We've made mistakes, we've fallen down, we've gotten back up again, and we've learned and gained from those insights. Those are the things that give us a genuine sense of power. And that power comes from inside of us, and we earn that through the hardships in our lives and through really appreciating everything that we have gained in our lives. So I want to tell you a story, and some of you can probably relate to this. This is a story of both power and a sense of powerlessness. When I was in grade 9, I was cute and blonde, and boys liked me. And I got asked out by a boy who was in my grade. He was good looking, he was tall. He wasn't someone that I wanted to date though. So I pulled up within myself, and I'd always been a people pleaser, but I thought I have to turn him down. I don't want to go to the dance with him. So I said no. But what I didn't anticipate was that one of his friends from a grade above us would bully me over that decision. And she was a girl, and she was big and strong and intimidating, and I was really scared of her. So in my infinite teenage wisdom, when our logical brain is not fully developed, I came up with a plan. And my plan was that I would take a change of clothes to school, right? She's not going to see me if I change my clothes at lunch hour. You can probably tell where this is going to go. So I snuck into the washroom when I thought nobody else was in there, and I crawled into one of those stalls that we all probably remember, those metal doors, and quickly changed my clothes, stuffed the old ones in my gym bag, and out I went. She saw me. She still saw me. And she still bullied me. And I think I've learned since then that changing clothes isn't gonna do it. And I had to pull up my own power. And I've had to really in my life face some of those really difficult times where we're facing conflict and facing someone that feels more powerful than we are. So what I use when I'm working with, I work a lot with youth and I work with adults. One of the tools I really have gotten a lot from, and I'm hoping that you also might enjoy this, is the locus of control. And the locus of control isn't a theory I came up with. It's from the 70s. It's a psychological theory that focuses on where we get our sense of control. So locus simply means location. And it's a continuum. So a continuum isn't static. It moves both ways. So we go up and down on that continuum depending on the events that are happening in our lives that day, the feelings that we are experiencing that day, etc. So on one side of the locus of control, we have the external locus of control. When we have an external locus of control, we have the beliefs that life happens to us. The internal messages go something like this. I have no control over my life. It's not my fault. Nothing I do can make my life any different from the way it is. When we have an internal locus of control, it's not about our hard work. It's simply about events unfolding that are beyond our control. When we have an external locus of control, we have a sense that other people are creating what's going on in the drama of our lives. We often blame others, we don't take responsibility, and we're not accountable for our own behavior. So when we have an external locus of control, we often feel very powerless. We feel like a victim. There's a sense of, this, I can't do anything about this. On the other end of the continuum is an internal locus of control. And when we have an internal locus of control, the internal messages go like this. I make my life happen. I create my reality. So you can just hear there's a different sense of power from those statements. And when we have an internal locus of control, we do have a sense of power, and we take responsibility, and we're accountable for our lives. So when I'm working with youth and with adults, I try to point out what their internal messages and what they're saying, where that's coming from, and move them along the locus of control. You can think of it almost like a developmental model, that as babies, we have an external locus of control, but as we grow into adulthood, we move into an internal locus of control. However, sometimes we get stuck on one end or the other. Might be a bad day, maybe we've gone to Thanksgiving dinner, and our parents are casting us into the role of 4-year-olds again. Or we go to our jobs and there's an overbearing boss, and our locus of control can move up and down that continuum. So, and also when a culture that's been oppressed can get stuck on the external locus of control because things have been taken away. So an internal locus of control has a sense that we make things happen, and the external has a sense that things happen to us without our choice. In the 1990s, I was living in Banfield on the west coast of the island, and I had a light bulb moment, and I realized we were waiting way too long to work with youth. We needed to work with them when they were still open to us, open to our suggestions as adults, and open to counseling concepts and perhaps philosophical or spiritual concepts that they might be shut down to as they enter the teen years. And what I did is I came up with a program, a pre-teen program called Girl Power. That was picked up in the First Nation communities. Kamloops Indian Band approached me and said, we love what you're doing, can you train our youth workers? Can you come up with a First Nation Aboriginal focused training? I felt very honored, and I worked diligently, and I did that. Over the last 15 years, I've taken this work right across Canada. I've also created 2 new programs, one for preteen boys and one for young mums, so 2B Boys and FemPower. All of these programs have been really accepted in First Nation communities, and I feel very grateful for that. I feel honored to have been able to go to the amazing communities that I get to go to and work with the workers that I work with. I train their workers to run these programs with their youth. So my ask for you today is I would love to see these visions expanded to all youth in all communities and all schools. That is my ask. I love working in First Nation communities, but I would love to move it out to all youth across Canada. When we feel good about who we are from the inside, we have a sense of power. Thank you.